It's so moist. It's so delicious. I don't even care that I haven't had lunch yet. Yum. Hi everyone. We are going to be making some absolutely delicious brownies today. They are my favorite that I have ever had in my entire life. I kind of can't believe that my favorite brownie ever is gluten-free black bean brownie, but it is. You've got to trust me. It makes the most moist, delicious brownies ever. And then we add this amazing little secret ingredient, these, see what we said, Urfa chili flakes. I got to tell you, it's the most incredible thing. They are unlike any chili flake you've ever had. You can't just substitute other chili flakes for this. It won't work. It's not the same. So these guys, this Urfa chili, it's a Middle Eastern chili, and it's very, I'm not gonna be able to show you really well because it's too dark. So it looks like it's black. It's actually a very, very, very dark maroon. It is earthy and a little bit smoky. Even though it has a high Scoville heat index, it doesn't knock you out like others do. So in these brownies, that earthiness and smokiness, and there's like coffee notes to it and chocolatey notes to it. And all of that works so well with the chocolate and the earthiness of the black beans. They just work perfectly together, and it makes the most incredible thing you've ever had in your entire life. Like you're just, you won't believe how good they are. So let's get started and make these guys. So I'm gonna throw over my kitchen cam here. Oops, take myself out of here. There we go. Here's my kitchen cam. So first, we're gonna start with the black beans. So I'm using today some organic black turtle beans, which are what Rancho Gordo calls the midnight beans. You might see them called black Valentine, or just black beans. They are the ubiquitous heirloom black bean, originally from South America. And they've been picked up by the Cuban culture and everything else, but they originated down in Mexico and South America. They are an absolutely gorgeous bean. They're kind of what you know as black beans for the most part. These are just a more pristine heirloom variety of it, grown on a small family farm. This is in our bean club this month, by the way, or if you are not in the bean club, get on the waiting list. It's the best thing ever. And you're supporting small farmers like Small Town Specialties who grew these organically. So we're going to start. I cooked up a bunch. What I always do is cook them up, and I'll show you. I leave them in my little glass container in the fridge all week and then use them for other things. I'm going to make some black bean enchiladas with these today or tomorrow later on as well. Maybe you'll taste that recipe too. So I start with, what I do is I drain out a cup of them and rinse them so they don't have the juice in them. Throw them here into my food processor. And I am using my food processor, which I almost never use because I hate cleaning all the parts to it. But I'm using it because it's it would be impossible to do this in the blender. Just trust me. So I'm going to kind of pulse those guys. Just blend them until they kind of form this rough paste in there. Kind of always go along the sides. Oh. Let's see here. All right, so you can see that it's kind of forming a rough paste. I'm going to grab my spatula. I love this guy. It's a nice small spatula. It gets into all those little nooks and crannies. I'm just going to push that down a little bit. So you can see it's kind of forming a very rough paste. Okay, we're gonna give her one more hit, and then we're gonna add the other ingredients. You will not believe how fast this recipe comes together. Okay, let that go for a couple minutes. Perfect. Now we're gonna add the eggs. we're gonna add in our vanilla. So I'm using, because it's extra delicious, the Madagascar bourbon vanilla from the fine folks over at Bourbon Barrel. This is a barrel aged, yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You really, I will tell you though, you can kind of taste the bourbon. It's really yummy. So it's very, very good. So this is a decidedly adult and delicious vanilla. So I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of that, as well as our eggs, of course. Here I'm going to solo this. Here we go. So there we go. And then I'm going to put in oil. I'm going to use coconut oil. You could obviously use butter. You could use an unflavored oil. You could use anything you want. But I like the flavor of the coconut in here because I like the way it plays with the chocolate. So I'm using it for taste, not for health reasons. You can feel free to use whatever oil you would like, though. I don't think I would like it with olive oil. That's one thing I would say. It's too flavored. So I would probably go with either butter, coconut oil, or a neutral oil. And I'm going to pulse this guy on and let that go for a few minutes. Okay, good. That's looking great. So here we go. Here's our wet ingredients. Those are all ready to rock and or roll. Now we're going to do our dry ingredients. So I'm going to bring this guy over here just a little bit so we can do our dry ingredients. So now in a separate bowl, we're going to mix together our cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 2/3 of a cup of sugar. We're going to stir in our salt, which is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, about that much. And we're going to do baking powder. Oh, so we're going to do our Urfa Bibir. I'm going to put, just because it's easier, 1/2 teaspoons of Urfa Bibir. This is the most delicious thing ever. This is our secret ingredient that's going to make these guys really sing. And now I need my baking powder. There we go. All right, those guys just get stirred together real quickly. Just give them a nice blend here, and then we're going to stir in our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. Okay, great. Those are nice and blended. Now I'm going to take my wet ingredients here and just kind of mix them in. And okay, there we go. And then just combine these together. Now previously I got my oven going and preheated that to 350 degrees. And I prepared a pan with parchment. I lined it completely so that I could put them in there. Trust me, you want the parchment because these are kind of messy otherwise to clean up after, because there is no flour in there. So but they're so delicious. You won't believe, you would think they would just be, they're very fudgy and gooey, but they really hold up like a brownie. Like it's just really incredible. They are a brownie. They're just made of black beans. Okay, so that looks about good. Yum. It smells so delicious. Okay. Oh, chocolate chips. I almost forgot. Can't forget that. My chocolate chips. Okay, so now you can stir in either 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, or I happen to have some bittersweet baking chocolate. And I kind of want to do the same amount of that. So I just rough chopped my bittersweet baking chocolate here, and I'm going to just pour that in. And that's going to give you lovely, like chocolatey bites that you're going to get out of it. Oh, it's going to be so good. So here we go. We're going to just pour this right into my lined pan here. I'm going going to kind of push it over to the sides here so that it forms like more square look here. There we go. There we go. That's it. We got. They're going to be delicious. That's going to go into the oven, and when they come out, they're going to look like this. Here you go. Oh my gosh, they look so good. So, oh, I almost forgot to tell you, I do sprinkle some baking chips on and a little bit of sea flake on just before they're done. So these go into the oven for 25 minutes, and at 25 minutes, I sprinkle on these chocolate chips so they kind of stay on top. It'll be mostly cooked by that point. And a little bit of sea salt, a little Pacific flake. And then I cook them the rest of the way, another 5 to 10 minutes until they're not too jiggly. You don't want them jiggly. And then you take them out and let them firm up outside the oven. And then this is, oh, they're so moist and fudgy and so delicious. I mean, oh my God. That was seriously the best brownie I think I've ever had in my entire life. It's so moist. It's so delicious. I don't even care that I haven't had lunch yet. Yum. So good. That is so delicious. See how easy that is? Super easy. Your kids could make it. It's maybe a little spicy for your kids. They may not like it, but yum. They're so good. Decidedly adult brownies and beyond delicious. Make them tonight. Enjoy. This has been a quick bite with Foodocracy. Please subscribe. Click that subscribe button so that you know when when we drop a new recipe. We try and drop them one every week. Click that subscribe button, because if we get subscribers, then they push us out, and then we get to tell everybody about these wonderful ingredients and the makers and all of our recipes. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.